it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions. We are so back, and we are back in the rain, as it seems. Qualifying about to start, and yeah, it's appearing to be rainy. Let's see if the race is wet as well. But at least for now, I think this does not look like it's gonna dry up anytime soon. We are still missing the one and only Eric's still not online. That's SMH my head. But yeah, Eric is still coming. And then we have 15 drivers on the grid, which is going to be nice, and I enjoy a lot. Some full teams actually going on here. Yeah, most of the people we know and love. I think Kurtz said earlier that he's had a pretty bad week, so he's probably not driving due to that. Leaving Hussein alone in the Aston tonight. Yeah, the AlphaTauris are here. Kingsman is jumping in for Dylan, which is, I mean, probably decent, I guess. I was about to say a shame because Jannemann and Dylan were doing very good at Alpine in the last few races, but honestly, Kingsman has not been doing bad as a sub for Elite here neither. So I'm curious what he can do today. Light a candle for I mean, Nitro and Kingsman, they are fast, right? Like, these are the two drivers from Challenger we welcome tonight here with Eagle and well, Jannemann, as mentioned before. Let's see if I can fetch the second Williams. Oh well, seems like Eric's gonna receive his invite in 3 business days. Oh, where is he? Am I blind, or did he just go online in this very moment? Okay, I don't care. He can text when he's online, I guess. I do not have game sound. Now I have. The rain just drowns out all the engine noises apparently. Well, who is the first one to cross the line there? Is that Twin Mark? No, not Alex. Alex Twin. Okay. Mark is gonna be Eric, as far as I'm aware. We're driving very carefully in the rain here. Anybody in the chat from Elite here telling me how weather is going to be in the race? It's going to be dry? I assume so. I think Texas rain chance is relatively small. Validation from Alex. So let's hop on to the next. The Jannemann. Just another blue car. And invalidation from Jannemann. So let's hop on to the next, which is Jimsky. Behind Jimsky we have Ed. Truth be told, the rains in Texas. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we put it to dynamic, which I think takes the rain percentages from the actual location, right? So, yeah. Can't remember ever driving or seeing wet Kota, honestly. I just thought of like Bahrain, or I don't know, like Jeddah for example. I don't think I've ever seen these in the rain either. So I'm curious if the race is gonna be cursed by the rain as well. Or blessed, who knows. Depending on who you are, probably. I see I got a thing on the server. I can only assume it's Eric telling me to let him in. Appears to be that way. So, what can Jimsky? It looks like a 147 flat, so that's gonna be the benchmark for now. Let's hop on board with Rapid, who has invalidated, so has Ed, so has Marcian. Jerry has not, but he is also not really intending to finish his lap. What is Emil's doing? For sure his best, but let's see how good that actually is. Nitro finishing lap 149 as well. It's gonna be close for now between Jimsky and Seagull, but I think the main issue here is bringing a lap home in the first place. As invalidating, apparently, given half the grid has done it, it is very easy in the rain here. So let's see what Emil's, also former Challenger tier, we can do here. Does not look too bad. Not gonna be lost here at least. And so Nitro and MQ. Let's see. I saw a purple light flash for Victor 1 here for Rapid. I think in the rain you can actually do several laps as you usually use, or rather use less ERS and recover more in the rain. So really depends how well to the end. See like how careful he is on the throttle as well. Because it's even easier to lose it here, like these third, fourth gear corners, especially in the rain, so slippery in these cars. Not that easy to keep it lined up and going forwards these turns. Last turn, and I think we're not gonna have a new pole lap. 147.2 is ahead of Seagull, but behind Jimsky. Let's see what its former teammate can do. Marcian here about to end one of his attempts as well. Behind him, honestly I can't tell the blue points apart. It's probably Alex on an outlap? Nope. Must have been one of Janneman or Kingsman then. Marcian not super fast here, is behind Nitro for now. Joined up there with Cherry with 2:26. Let's see, 26 seconds faster. Oh, it's a little bit more than 26 seconds faster. Putting him just behind Ed and, well, apart from the top guys, in a relatively decent position for now. Let's see. Janneman, the very first attempt, drove purple sector 1. See if he can repeat it. Oh well, he apparently didn't, because I don't think I saw a flash. But at least he survived it until now. No corner cuts, yeah. Gonna be wet territory at this rate. I think conditions are getting worse. Can't really see that, honestly. I don't think they're changing much. Seagull with new provisional pole here coming through. Is just narrowly beating out Jimsky. I mean, I assume no one trained for wet quota. So yeah, seeing the lap times here is actually quite interesting. Because I would just, I don't know where the limit is in these conditions. How fast you can go, theoretically. Jannemann is gonna come over the line. He's gonna be a little bit slower than the top guys, but that's just behind Marcian now. And ahead of Ed here. I guess the usual top 6, top 7 has found themselves in some order anyway, regardless of conditions. Let's see what this could do. And invalidate his lap. Very well. Lauda. Vector 3, at this point I wouldn't necessarily say it's not that easy to cut corners anymore. You can still run wide in a lot of these. But given that you don't go through them with as much speed as usual anyways, maybe a little bit easier to control your car and stay on the track. One could still be dangerous. Looking very, very cautiously. I think with that timing we're gonna look at a high 49. Oh, lower. Gonna look at a DNF here. He slid over the line. Honestly, I don't quite know why his lap time didn't count. But well, that's been Lauda. We adjusted Jannemann. Go to him again. He's still driving. I think he is on a hot lap here. No, he's not. He's probably gonna come in. Just way too far behind. Marcian on an invalid lap, so is Jimsky. Who else is going? Kingsman maybe? Kingsman is. Jannemann has just improved, I think. 57.8. I do think that the Inters circumstances can get quicker the more you drive them. So that it might make sense to just take that little bit of extra fuel and yeah, drive like several laps. Kingsman there with like 4K. Yeah, property damage. Drawing Formula Sundays pit entry boards. Surely he lost control of his vehicle. Surely. Meals does not need much of an improvement to gain a position here, and he has that improvement. For a little bit more, he needs about 2/10 extra in these last few turns, which is well possible if you get a little wheel spin in these turns here. This did not look too bad. Let's see. Very cautious here for the last one, and that is a big improvement all the way up until behind Marcian. A little bit more would have been cool for him. But yeah, apart from that, like beyond that, it's quite a big jump over to Hussein. Add on an invalid lap. Let's see, Alex is getting another try. Let's look at Mark here. Eric here briefly. Both of them at the start of the lap. I'm not gonna say, well, I was like, I'd rather want to watch another good lap. So we swapped to rapid here. And he lost the car a little bit there in the last few turns and lost a 10th-ish. But I think even if he did not have that tiny mistake there, he would have had Siegel, but I don't think he would have been near Jimsky. Anyways, mistakes in the first try is only time gain in the next. So, yeah, Rapid still has probably 2 tries ahead of himself. Ed is a good bit down, so is Cherry. So is Alex, or he's invalidated. Eric is also invalid. Hussein, I think, has just started another lap, and he might be our best bet then to get a counting lap on stream here. Or we see him invalidate 5, I guess. This turn here is probably the one that's been cut the most. As well, so tempting to just go very far over the curbs, even in the rain here. But he's kept it clean so far. Can cut this a lot theoretically, but it's not really much faster because the uneven territory forbids a good exit, apparently. Wow, I cut that one a lot as well, holy moly. Did not think that was gonna be allowed. Very nice line there by Hussein, just getting the absolute maximum out of the track, but as we've seen it there, Delta was negative, and so he decides to charge up a little bit of DRS and instead go for 2 more tries here maybe. Can you go away, yellow flag thingy? I would like to see the remaining time. Ooh, Marcian with a 0.3 improvement. Needing a little bit more to go further up. They're letting another driver through, and I think he's gonna prepare his last attempt. Marcian. Definitely off track there, but I think it's still gonna be an improvement for him. Nope. Lost it all in the last sector. No chance for him. Jimsky with a spin here. Rapid. Let's see his delta after sector 2. .1 quicker, just behind Jimsky at this rate, and he did have that mistake in the penultimate turn where he lost the 10th maybe, so with a 2/10 improvement he could slot in just ahead of Jimsky. Really curious about what these guys... Oh, okay, there's the spin. But what the setups are that these guys are running. Still there, coming through, being Rapid spin just ahead of him. I wonder if Rapid has front rear wing damage. In that case, I guess it would make sense to just go into the pits, which he does do now. I don't think Seagull improved here. Yeah, Rapid with the retirement. Fair enough. And Veneman here, getting his final attempt across. See? It's a 0.6 improvement here. Not enough to catch Rapid, but at least to get a decent jump on Hussein. Nitro retiring from 10th. See what Marcian can do. 0.25 is not enough to get close. Seagull with a possible improvement. If he stays like this, he's gonna end up a 100th behind Jimsky, so he needs to gain a tiny bit more here to get that pole position. Oh, that is a big tiny bit. 0.3 tenths, 3.5 tenths. Rather big improvement here. If he brings it home, he's gonna have a 0.6 flat. as Jimsky massively improves him as well. Would be the pole position for Seagull. Oh, and there's the invalidation. That is pain. Because I don't think... actually, Jimsky is pretty speedy still as well. I'm not quite sure if this would have been enough to improve even further. It would have been. So it would have been very close between Seagull and Jimsky. Seagull there just pushing that tiny bit too much. In the ultimate turn, they're running wide and thus invalidating his lap. And this is going to be a starting grid I think we have not seen in a while, right? I'm not quite sure when the last Jimsky pole position was. The last few races it has always been Rapid Hussein in the front row. Or sometimes the occasional Seagull in there, and Jimsky usually in the second row. But OG season 11 front row, I think it was. Jimsky, Seagull, and then Rapid and Jannemann before Hussein and Ed. It's gonna be a very spicy starting lineup here. I guess what we said before, like the top 7, or rather, yeah, 6 or 7, if we want to count Marcian, who's the race winner again. To that. Yeah. The usual suspects, I guess. I'm curious whether we are gonna see rain in the race as well, or whether this has been a one-off and then the race is completely dry. Let's find out right now. That looks very dry. I'm not gonna lie. No cloud inside. That really looks like a dry rain. So yeah, could also open up an interesting question about setups, I guess. Whether you chose a rain setup for quali. It's gonna be a little bit worse if dry. Went for a race setup dry, and thus did not really get the best performance quali just now. From what I've heard, you run very high downforce here anyways. So usually I think rain setups involve more downforce because it makes it easier to drive and you're not going that quick usually anyways. The difference between dry and wet setups here is not that big. But we're gonna see. Strategy is also an interesting thing, I think. I expect medium hard to be predominant again, as it usually is. Everybody is starting on mediums, that's a rare side. Literally everybody on mediums here, so no advantages in the start as we're going away. And it seems like Jimsky has made his way up the hill in P1 there, cutting all the way to the inside, running a little bit wide there. Seagull as well. Jannemann already side by side, he could go through all the way into the lead here. Jimsky maybe left a little bit too much of a gap there, slight contact there, wheel banging between the cars. And it is Rapid past Seagull as well. Further back, we have the Ferraris changing positions if I'm not mistaken, and Kingsman all the way down in last position. But he has picked up the pace again. Let's see. There's no damage neither, so apart from Kingsman, I guess, we are going through this relatively nicely. Side by side here between Ed and Hussein. The entire field in an Alpine sandwich. But what a move by Jannemann then. I did not quite see where he got through, but he must have found a very good line through the first turn. Gained, I think, 2 positions, or even 3. I'm not sure if he was ahead of Rapid or not. I think he was behind, so definite winner of the start there, the Alpine. And, well, now he has all the big names behind him. So, yeah, curious about how long he can keep up the pace. I think he said Kota is one of his more liked tracks, so But so is it for Rapid, I think. Very curious who can deliver better here tonight. And yeah, nice to see the field still so bunched up. First lap through and everybody is within half a second, pretty much. Even though there seems to be, well, the biggest gap as of now, apart from Kingsman of course, is between Rapid and Jimsky, so I'm not sure if the top two can just drive away from the McLaren here. Everybody is using very similar amounts of ERS, so it's not a matter of that. But yeah, I mean, let's get into the race first. I guess, and then we can still see how strategy and pace is unfolding. Also an interesting thing, I think, not quite sure where Eric started, or in this case, Mark. Still playing on that account. But I think it was like P14 or something, so he must have gained a lot of positions as well, and at the expense of a time penalty maybe, but yeah, must have had a decent start too. So first few 1 second gaps opening up briefly there between Eric and Cherry, and now a little bit more permanently between Hussein and Ed. Nitro with another time penalty as well. These guys certainly getting there fast. Yellow flag. Ooh. But I don't think there has been an actual incident. It looks like Alex has lost it in the last turn a little bit. And now Kingsman is back on his rear. Lauda there must have lost some time as well, because the gap was not quite there like this before. Alex getting himself the first time penalty as well. I mean, staying within track limits, especially hard of course if you are in the earlier stages of the race, where there's still a lot of cars around you that you have to take care for, probably avoid maybe. So I'm curious how this is going now. Rapid now in the lead, and Janeman I think well able to go with the pace in DRS. Question is if Jimsky and Seagull can do so too, if this is beneficial for the overall race pace here, or what we have now constellation wise, if Rapid in front with Janeman in second can go quicker than vice versa. Because then the Jimsky and Seagull might get a problem, but we may see. For now, they are close behind, they are in DRS range. Jimsky, I think, especially now with DRS, even gaining back a lot of time. Now closing the gap until 0.6 again. %, a long race of course. Even longer than what we've seen in Challenger before. So there's a lot of time. You have to be very consistent, especially with the track limits, as we've seen in Challenger before as well. Very easy to pick up 2 time penalties within 20 laps. So yeah, if that's the benchmark for Challenger, I'm sure in Elite can expect some time penalties from the top runners over the length of the race distance as well. Rapid so far, just staying in front here. I think Marseillan just made the move on Emils and Cherry behind them. Killing. Could be a little bit of a counter coming by Emils then as second. NQ getting himself the first time penalty. Wonder what is going on with Kingsman there. Currently seeming most likely move to be made. There's not really a big DRS train going. Nitro and twin mark there. Father Eric. Swap positions. Further down. Yeah, Kingsman, MQ, Lauda stayed just as they were. Top 5 still within a second each. Oh, Jannemann is just dropping behind a little bit right now. Wonder if that is a mistake or whether Rapid actually started to put on some pressure. Playing with a big ERS advantage over everybody else. Everyone between like 40 and 50%. Then there is the Aston of Hussein, who has 90. Lot of resources to go for potential overtakes in a bit. Further down, Kingsman has made it past MQ. And for now, I think we're waiting for the next straight. Seeing what moves can be made. As of now, I don't think there are any. And as of now, I do think Jannemann is struggling a little bit here to keep up with Rapid. Gained about 4/10 in the DRS straight, of course. But on the track, I think he's losing out. Which is, of course, on this track, well, relatively easy, I guess, because there's a lot of high-speed turns in the earlier half, and then a lot of technical, relatively quick turns in the second half. And, well, having the dirty air there makes it a little bit harder to follow with the same speed. Alex with the second 3-second time penalty. I think Jimsky might be going for a move here. Yep. Jannemann with the lockup, and now Jimsky in P2. Seagull pushing behind as well. Zane is just chilling, letting all the others do the work. He himself is just saving up his ERS, saving up his tires probably. And there we are. Spun AlphaTauri here. Hold on. What? And oh, train at the top closing up a little bit again. Closer together. Jannemann here does sort of look like the slowest from the pack. I'm not sure. Like, he's having the biggest gap at least to the car in front, and that after just being overtaken for. Yeah, I'm not sure. Lauda retired, and we have a safety car. Due to high demand, we are on reduced safety cars here. I am not entirely sure how you retire there. Does almost look like he has sort of spun and like, hit the wall on the inside there through oversteer or something. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, safety car's gonna go for Rapid. And now it is interesting. Comes and just stay out. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna reset the field entirely. Of course, this sucks for teammates who are very close together. For example, Marcian and Jerry probably can't really both pit very well. But coming in. And seems like everybody is coming in. Actually, Marcian has a little bit of a gap to it, so they could potentially double stack. But knowing it's Ferrari, for example, not sure if that's the right call. This McLaren double stack there did actually go relatively decent. Yeah, Cherry though, he lost the lot at. Actually, was he even ahead of Emils before? He must have lost like ultimately. Saying here, really bad luck placement, I guess, as he's had to cut by permanent, thus has lost positions to both Ed and Marcia. But we have some interesting strategies cooked up. A few hard runners, yes, they are going for the end, or at least they're planning to go to the end, I think. A couple of soft runners banking on another safety car most likely, because you can go soft medium, no doubt, from here. That shouldn't be a big issue. I don't think the mediums last to the end, and I am not entirely sure what the soft runner's plan is. Either be like soft and psychopath push all the time, make that extra pit stop, or they're just open for another safety car soon. Even though too soon would not really help them, because then all the hard runners have better pace. So it's tricky to say who has picked correctly. Rapid definitely taking the safest bet with the hard tires, because he does not need to buy on anything happening. And just go to the end. He has horrible tires. He will have a bad but at least he is in that lead for now. Another lap of safety car gonna be getting, and I don't know, I've kind of ran out of things to tell and say. I could tell some New Year stories, but honestly I don't remember that much. Yeah, all these cars getting gapped by the Mercedes. Yes, Slaughter. Probably the most leading laps. Tell us what you had for dinner. I did make a very nice fish with tuna, salmon, and some shrimp, and then some creme fraiche. And I made a huge called the thing you put in the oven tray, I guess, of that. And now I still have 2 very nice chunks left that I can take to work tomorrow, which, dude, I had 2 weeks off and it felt like an eternity and I loved it, and I sort of opposite of can't wait to get back to work tomorrow. I am so unmotivated. I really hope I get out of bed. My sleep schedule is not fixed at all. Like, I tried getting up at 8 or like around 8 the last days to get me readjusted to work days, but holy moly, I've been getting to bed and staying up until 2 in the night because I just can't sleep earlier, and then yeah, even though I have holidays, been running on 5 hours of sleep. Not wanting to return for work, what a mood. I honestly, I'm low-key so tilted, but at the same time I know that I'm just probably like an ungrateful ass for that, but like, why the hell do we have to work 40 hours? Like, I live 20 minutes away from my work. I only drive an hour per day to work, but I have colleagues who drive 1.5, 1 and 3/4 hour to work and back every single day. And then you work 8 hours, or probably mostly 9.5, plus half an hour break mandatory. And then you commute 3.5 hours, and then it's just 13 hours of your day gone. When do you lift? Lift? Yeah, I don't lift neither because I'm unmotivated, but no, when do you live? Like, what are you doing? Where's your free time? Dude, if you live alone, you gotta do groceries and stuff. Horrible, man. Who had the idea? And who had the idea to do 40-hour weeks is, actually it's Ford. But back then it was like, yeah, the high life, because they worked like 60 hours until that point, so... I don't know, man. Probably gonna go for like 30-35 hours in the near future. Just like have 2 long days and 3 relatively short days. Gonna be way nicer, gives me way more energy for hobbies, for this stuff here as well. Oh my god, there's a McLaren spun. That is Emil's just in the back. He's now dead last. Wonder if that was contact or just oversteer. I think you can oversteer that turn very, very well. Rapid is really fighting for his life there on his hards. Everybody else is having a way better time. I think it will be fixed soon. The youth doesn't want to work 9 to 5 in an office anymore. Yeah, understandably so. Like, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. And for my job as well, like, we have 4 months. I'm doing financial planning, I guess. So like from let's say June to November, we do like all the planning, and it's huge amounts of work and huge coordinations, and like pretty much 70% of the year's work. And for the rest of the year, there's like not really much to do, and it's like either too much or too little, but it's like never a good amount of work. It's so tilting. Kingsman with a spin and into the wall, but I think, yeah, he can't continue here. But he's gonna continue from last again. So yeah, I don't know. I also don't think this is gonna stay for long. There's already studies showing that like 4-day weeks or only like working 6 hours per day is actually more productive than working 8 or 9. Which I can absolutely relate. I feel like I'm getting more done if I stay short than if I stay long. And like AI is gonna probably help us with so much stuff. Isn't it kind of funny how we all thought like, yeah, AI is gonna take our jobs, like we're gonna have to fear for our workplaces, but now all that AI does so far is take away the hobbies. Like, we use it for paintings or like pictures or for writing prompts and stuff, but the actual work has just remained the exact same. Well, anyways, honestly, this is so off topic for this. Let's just get back into racing action here. DRS is back active. We have already seen 2 races after the 2 laps after the safety car restart. Most of the pack has stayed within that 1 second range. Incredibly so Rapid as well. Is able to go the pace with the soft runners for now, and not even expending that much more ERS neither. So yeah, that would be very good for him if he can just stick to the top 2, because they really gotta like find a way to drive away, build that gap, and yeah, slot that extra pit stop in somehow. We've seen before the softs lasting about 8 laps in challenger tier distance. I know that the tire life is scaled, but I think it's not as scaled as the race distance. So like realistically, this is like 35 to 50 is, bruh, 3/7. What is that? 40% more distance, 40-ish%. So theoretically, the tire life should go from 7 or 8 laps to about oh, let's say 10 to 12 laps. But that's still not very far. Like, you gotta go lap 20 here maybe, or 19, and then get another set of softs. And you lose, I think, about 20 seconds in the pits. That's what you're gonna gain, or got to gain, I guess. Oh, Yanneman with the time penalty. That is a little bit of yikes. The first of the top runners to catch one. Almost halfway through the race. So, yeah, not looking good for him right now. He would drop all the way down to P5. As everybody is still so close together after the safety car. Of course, that can change if there's no safety cars anymore. Tires are gonna give in or get fast at some point. Everything can change. I mean, be back to office. Honestly, I had like this when I finished my apprenticeship in 2022, I think. Yeah, 2 years ago, and started my job. I was not at the actual job, and I have not met the people in person for half a year during Corona, because everything was home office. And like it worked splendidly, but the people, or like the people in charge rather, still fight against every single home office day they grant people. Like, I don't know, so weird. Like, I have 2 days now, which I'm fairly happy with, because some things are just better done in office, and some things I can easily do at home. But yeah, that's also a thing that, like, I was so upset about in the beginning. It's like such a switch back from everybody's in home office every day to when I came back. It was like, okay, yeah, for now you all come into office every single day. And it's just like, bruh, I can book these things as like whatever from home just as well as I can at work. I think it's Rapid strategy. Even with the safety car, I don't see Jimsky and go bagging this. The thing is, Rapid has all the cards in his hand. Like, he is really, like, made a smart move here. Because even if Jimsky, Seagull, etc. can pit on the safety car, he can just go pit as well. What does stop him? You just go for fresh softs as well, and then just claim the win by driving, like, driving better than the others. Like, he could choose to stay out and have track position, which would be stupid, I think, because then everybody else would be behind him on fresh softs and he'd just be overtaken in no time. Or he can just chill here, go with them in the pits if there is another safety car, and if there is none, he just wins. Like, Jimsky's gonna be gone. Yanneman is already dropping pace here. I'm not sure if Seagull can go to the end here, actually. I think if he really stretches it, his stint here, he might be able to pull it off, but it's certainly not going to be good by the end. And at this point, Rapid is in P1 again. Like, I don't know. We've been talking about Rapid and safety cars, of course, because he always seems to be not coming out on top. But most of the times, it's actually poor strategy decisions, or like decisions that ultimately turn out to be poor during the race then, for whatever reasons. And this time around, I really think he has the upper hand strategy-wise. Like, he's in the very best spot here. Ed is 2.5 seconds away from the top 4 pack even. So it's like a good little gap there between Rapid and the next hard runner. Yeah, and as said, I'm not sure whether Seagull can go through or not. Rapid here might lose the lead to Jimsky again, but does not want to. Wants to stay ahead here. Oh, Seagull needs to pit. He went 2 times mediums. Okay, yeah, fair enough then. Ah, yeah, that's oh, that's almost a rapid spin here. Slight rear end there by Jimsky. I'm not sure if Rapid was just slower than usual there, or what exactly caused that. But that of course puts the top 4 all within 1 second. Pretty much 1 car at this point. Braking slipstream here. Train is just following its leader. And a little bit of wheel banging here. Skeeter can't really say that Rapid left him any room. Or like these guys are leaving each other much room generally at all. But everybody's still driving, everybody's still on track. It looked like Yannemann was about to rear end Seagull there as well. And Jimsky dives into the pits, question mark? Yes, he does. Yeah, I guess better now than never, right? I think he's gonna be coming out ahead of MQ. So he's gonna come out in a decent little gap of free air. And yeah, maybe he can make this up, I guess. It's gonna be mediums for him, most likely, yep. And he does indeed come out ahead of MQ, so at least he aimed for a good gap there to just be able to drive his race pace here. Now has to hope for Seagull to just slow Rapid down somehow. May it be through fighting or however. Maybe overtaking and staying like ahead of him for a few laps. Jimsky 11 seconds behind Marcian. Yeah, and it is 11 laps to go, so he has to gain a second on the hard runners per lap, which is honestly probably even doable, so the strategy might not be that far-fetched. I think the fresh mediums right now should be probably more like in the 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds per lap territory of an advantage. I wonder if Rapid chooses to pit regardless, or if he just tries to go to the end on these and like, I mean, it's probably the less risky approach, right? Yannemann also still staying out. Interesting call for him to extend his soft stint. I wonder if he wants to go for another in the very end. It's now only 10 laps to go, so he could go for another stint of soft. I think for the amount of pushing he would have to do, might have been better to just go for the mediums as Jimsky did. Ed and Hussein here, super close together as well. Hussein just now overtook Ed and is having the upper hand for now. Oh man, this is so satisfying if people are actually able to take these S's super well. Like, such a smooth line by Hussein that I've legit, I think, not even once achieved in my entire time of playing this game. Well, Yannemann and Seagull do stick with Rapid for now. I wonder if Yannemann is just gonna extend until he drops off behind the two as well. I mean, every lap he stays out gives him more tire life in his later stint. But it also, of course, shortens the distance or the time he has to gain the time back by another lap, right? Yeah, Suzuka's that on steroids, but I find Suzuka easier because all the turns are like the same diameter, right? Like exactly the same. You can sort of just like flow with the corners there in the first sector, and on this one it's more like everything is slightly different, requires a slightly different line, and it's way harder to hit for me personally. I do think Jannemann should pit now, though. There's just no sense in delaying even further. The track is grippy as well. Okay, yeah, I can't really... I have not compared these, or not played them enough recently to draw a good comparison. Zimski's gaining on Marceljan. In the 2.5 laps, he gained about 6 seconds. Of course, Marceljan is slightly losing time to the top guys as well, so I'm not quite sure how much Zimski did gain on Rapid, etc. But I'm certain that he gained some. So, yeah. Ed has also pitted. One of the hard runners was just behind Hussein. Probably deemed this strategy worthy as well. If Jannemann were to pit in this lap, I think he'd come out about where Ed is. Maybe more where Cherry is. Seagull in, and so would Jannemann go. Yes, both of them into the pits. Both of them for softs. And now it's wait and see, I guess. Hussein, 4.5 seconds behind. I think another 4.5 behind him is Marcian, and then another 4.5 Zimski. So it is, it's only 3 at this point. So he has gained about, let's say 8 seconds back in 3 laps. Honestly, that's kind of crazy. He could really make it to the end and catch these guys. Might have been big brain strat by Zimski, yeah. Seagull and Jannemann, I don't know, 6 seconds behind Zimski, but they have softs. Not sure how big the difference is there. It's huge for them though that they stayed ahead of Ed. Because Ed is likely going to be fast now as well, difficult to overtake. But probably slower than they are when they warmed up their softs properly. Kingsman briefly looked like he was going to make a move, but will exit avoids that entirely. Zimski is approaching Marceljan rapidly. I wonder if he's even gonna get into DRS this turn. Not gonna make up enough time to get DRS already. Also lost a lot of ERS, of course, catching up with the other guys. Nitro having a quiet but solid race. Where he at? And yeah, I guess he probably still will get marks, so it's gonna get 9 soon. Kingsman might be a little bit of a threat, and MQ and Emils are on fresh tires, not far behind neither. Okay, MQ a bit behind. And there he is, yeah, Mark actually, or Eric getting into the pits. So is Kingsman. So yeah, Nitro on a very nice 9th one. I think he has 6 seconds. Zimski on Marceljan, that is no problem at all. 10 seconds still to go though, so he's not really gaining on Rapid and Hussein, which is the crucial part. I guess he gained a lot when he used ERS, but right now his battery is completely drained and he does not really have much more to push. Curious of how far Jannemann and Seagull can still go. I assume their advantage is even bigger than Zimski's, so as long as they can push, they sure will get about 5 more seconds. That's gonna be interesting in the end strategy. Hussein is slightly losing to Rapid. About half a second over the last 3 or 4 laps. Seagull with the fastest lap now. Janeman matches the pace, so he's not going to be much slower than Seagull. And they gained about 2 seconds in the second half of this last lap. So Marcian, I think, is going to be caught by the end of this one. Also losing about 2 seconds on Jimsky lap, so Jimsky gaining about a second on Hussein. I think Hussein they are still gonna get, but Rapid might just be fine there in P1. And for Janeman and Seagull, I am not sure if they're even gonna get Hussein. Really depends on how long they need to get past Marcian. I think they're gonna have him by the end of this lap. 0.7 in these few turns is well possible with the tire difference they have. 0.4 in this turn alone, dude, it's crazy. Like you see one braking zone and then it goes like from 0.7 to 1.3. And there we are, Seagull in the DRS range already, so he's certainly gonna go past on the start finish straight. I think if they get close enough, Janeman might even get through here as well. I wonder how much Marcian is going to defend, or whether he just knows that these guys are going to come through no matter what, and it does not really benefit him to fight this too much. Go around the inside. There's been a spun Alpine Kingsman. Gonna get going again. Oh, and Janeman needs to go through ASAP. Yeah, Seagull can potentially really get away here. You can really see how much quicker the Alpine could go. Oh, interesting point for a move. Oh, they're bang wheels. Both of them survive. And I think, does he have DRS? Oh no, Janeman briefly out of DRS. This is gonna cost him so much. He can't close the gap until the start finish straight. This is just free time pretty much. That's been left laying around here. 3/10 or so that he had to spend ERS for to get back to Seagull. Jimsky is almost at Hussein now. Gonna take like probably one more lap for him to be in DRS range. Probably gonna have it for the back straight. Further back, Nitro. I think he just got overtaken by Emils. I think Emils was behind him before. And MQ's only 4 seconds behind, so he might fall victim to another attack soon. 5 more laps, so yeah, there's another track limit penalty, so it's gonna be hard for him to keep that position. Janeman within DRS range again, please. Good for him. Jimsky is also in DRS range, which is huge for him. He needs the overtake ASAP if he wants to have any chance at Rapid. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he has. Because as he has been gaining on Hussein, Hussein has been losing time on Rapid. So it's more of a catching Hussein than actually catching up with the lead. So let's see. Not gonna get past here. Probably gonna be start finish for him then. Definitely close enough now. Ed getting through Marcian. Marcian with a track limit penalty, and so is Eric getting another one for himself. And let's see here, Jimsky will be fighting for P2 in a bit. So close behind. And even kind of pushing Hussein through the last turn. Overtake activated. He's been actually not even doing much ERS or yeah, anything wise. He just does not have to do much. Defend here. Maybe he has a better straight line speed setup. Seagull and Yaneman are coming closer. Yaneman, of course, has to look behind as well. It's 2.8 seconds right now. He has a 3-second time penalty. He wants to keep the position against Ed. He needs these extra 0.2. Jimsky have another go at this straight here. Lock up by Hussein. Not the best exit, really. I think 0.3 at the start of straight certainly is enough to go by. Doesn't even use ERS a lot, as he knows it's just going to be enough on the inside. And through we go. Well, 6 seconds of a gap though. Certainly not enough to get to rapid and fast rapid, especially. But it's having a chill time, not spending ERS at all. And this little all of 4 people, I guess, is probably gonna stay together in some sort of constellation. Ed lost 2 seconds almost on Yaneman, and also got way closer to Marcellian again. So must have made some sort of individual mistake here, but I think Marcellian was too far away for there to be a collision of any sorts. And oh my god, 3-4 wide, what is that? Into turn 1. Seagull up into P2 for now, and Hussein in P3 again. Dude, this is lagging all over the place. What has happened here? Been looking good the entire race, and now this? Can't even tell you what happened there exactly. It's the only thing we know is Jimsky got messed up by that. That's like really unfortunate for him. So yeah, couldn't really tell you who was at fault for this, or like if anyone even was. But yeah, that for Jimsky, of course, who did go for an ambitious strat that would have ultimately netted him P2, and Yaneman and Hussein here. I think this one was on Yaneman, to be fair. Hussein really more of a passenger in that situation. Ultimately, of course, only gonna lose 1 position to Ed. Unless he has some non-visible damage and lose some more time here. There's the time. Okay, well, with the track limit penalty now, looking a little different, I guess. What's an undramatic ending, I guess, for this top 5 fight. Just 2 collisions and everybody is so spread apart. Jimsky here, front wing end plate completely missing. Barely any chance to keep the pace. Hussein looks like he has some sort of side pod damage or something as well. Ed might snatch a P3. Or will, most likely. And yes, 2 more laps now. Let's see. We saw a lot of these guys now. Let's jump on to a battle that is a bit further down. What we said before, MQ at some point is gonna catch up to Nitro, which is happening here. And yeah, there's gonna be our last little battle probably. Actually, Ed is catching up to Yaneman. Maybe Yaneman got some damage there as well. Time on the Alpha. Well, Elite Chat is gonna be spicy again. Well, at least one of them got through fine. Or 2 rather. And Seagull, of course, the laughing thirds. Rather 5th and 6th. But yeah, I can't even tell you. If it looked like that for the drivers, I'm not sure who they are blaming as well. Because if they saw what we saw, this honestly looks like game issue. server's not lagging much, but with the forecast like within 10 meters, like Jimsky was briefly within 2 other cars. I have no idea what happened there, really. Like, I'm really curious about the POVs. Second one I would say is probably Yaneman being a little late on spinning around thing. But yeah, we'll probably need another look at that as well. I never say it like 100% until you get like a proper POV. Oh, let's see some of our last runners here. Oh, Mark into the pits, or rather Eric. What though, man? The race is over now. Can't pit for fastest lap. Big W. Jimsky fallen victim to Cherry here as well. Oh, what happened there? Hussein and well, anyways, it has been a truly dominant performance by Rapid in the end. Good strategy call there after the safety car. Fortunate, of course, that the 2 to 5 in the end kind of took care of themselves. I think he would have been relatively safe regardless. But yeah, it certainly helped that none of them really saw the light of the finish line. And yeah, we have Cherry and Jimsky coming in 7th and 8th. Emil's getting a nice P9 here, honestly. Making his way through the ranks a little bit further down, and still getting some valuable points for McLaren. This is of course subject to change. There's like penalties or anything flying around. But yeah, interesting race in the end. Really sad about that 2 to 5 battle. It has been coming that we have seen battles in Elite, and on that note, like with Crash Racecraft usually. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunate that. Yeah. Races over. And from what I think it is Rapid on top of the podium yet again. Seagull, a good finish for the leader of the championship. I don't know if he still is in second, and then leading the British Triforce there on the podium is Ed with a very good performance. Not really close to the top 5 until the very end, but then in the right spot at the right time, showing the good pace there to claim that 3rd position. Here we have it one more time. Final classifications. Fastest lap for Seagull, of course, when they were on their hunting spree for the top guys on the softs. And yeah, Yaneman P4, subject to change. Marcian, Hussein and Cherry getting some valuable points in. Jimsky and Emils, 2 McLarens, currently 8th and 9th, and an MQ grabbing the last few points by virtue of having less time penalties than Nitro. So that's been it from us, rather from me, for this week at least. We're gonna be next week, yes. We are gonna be back next week, of course, and that we are going to be in, let me see, of course, having friends in mind, Brazil. One of yeah, another tracks that I really like seeing. Honestly, we have quite a few bangers coming up. Not the biggest fan of Singapore personally, and Mexico as well, but I mean, Portugal, I love watching Portugal. France is also a very good track to watch, and Britain also a banger coming up. So yeah, stay tuned. and see you next week. And it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions.